Hi guys, Kim here. Pop-up World of Creation, Part 1, The Labyrinth. So I've been watching David Bowie movie The Labyrinth, and the last section of the movie is very strange. She's caught him on staircases trying to get Toby the baby that the Goblin King has kidnapped. In this section it seems to be depicting perspective. The baby is unreachable until such time that she can align her perspective with that reality that she will be reunited with Toby. So this could be an analogy for all of us in relation to our perspective being the creator of everything. In a pop-up world, your own world only extends as far as your 5 or 6 sense perception reaches. So perhaps the birds you can hear singing, the trees, the mountains that you can see off in the distance. It works a bit like a zone in a computer game. If any of you are familiar with changing zones in a computer, that everything in your particular pop-up world is there for you to learn from, and therefore for you to expand your perception. You can tweak your own pop-up world with the beliefs. If something in your world is giving you a feeling of discomfort, then change your belief around that thing. It requires one to go deep in order to change a belief, as one needs to go to the source of that belief and examine where that particular belief came from, and then adjust the thinking behind it. So a friend and I have been working on this concept for years, trying to figure out, in all possibility, we can each individually be creating our own worlds in convergence with everything else that's going on in the world. And he sent me this message this afternoon whereby he said that conviction is the inverse of doubt, meaning that a belief in something is not enough to set that thing up in stone, as beliefs can be changed and altered. So if one is tweaking a perspective so one can manifest that into their reality, as long as doubt exists, that there's a small chance that you will not be working in the reality that's in alignment with you, and may well create something that's nothing like the reality you're trying to create, because doubt exists. Then we're also faced with the problem that everybody's right and everybody's wrong. So in order to describe how all opinions are correct, I'll tell you a bit of a story, which is, I came across an article many years ago when the tsunami in Japan happened, and at that time I was very much into Cliff High and his predictions of the world based on the algorithms of the computers, and that the reality was being created by everyone due to them all typing and bringing about the most likely scenario due to the concentrated replica of language that was being circulated. Anyway, at that time Cliff High was stating the likelihood that the United States was being inundated by toxic fallout from the tsunami and subsequent damage to the facility in Fukushima. I was trying to do research on this reality being true or not, but no matter where I looked with an open mind, I always came up with conflicting information and reports. And then the deeper I went into it, I realized that the old adage, there are two sides to any story, was true. And the conclusion then led me to was that stories that were put out there were true in some way to some people, according to the person's individual experience, expectation, or what their perspective was. I'm seriously not trying to overcomplicate this, but I've also observed how difficult it is to change someone else's mind when their mind is already made up, no matter how ludicrous their concept might seem to you or to us. If we are in creation of our own realities, then surely we do not need a reality where our heads are full of other people's fears that they're trying to project onto us. So I was having this discussion last night in the Telegram group that I belong to, and we're talking about a whistleblower video and how they are projecting this reality as really scary that we're about to walk into. To which I responded to say, I think it's plausible that they get us to create their desired reality through scaring the shit out of us, and us unknowingly creating that very reality that we do not want. And then one of the members, Katie said that she didn't think it worked that way and that it was more like magic and that you had to be in a balanced state in order for us to tweak our own timelines, and that there was a risk that millions of others in their scared mind could create something horrible for us as individuals to experience. Which brought me to the point that maybe fear is that bridge. The bridge between the possibility of creating a reality that others fear, but that you yourself do not believe in, and therefore it cannot be created as a reality if you do not fear it. That if one can banish fear, just like Bill Hicks was saying in that video, it's a choice between fear and love, and that each time we come to the point of doubt, we just ask if doubt is fear-based, and instead take the love route, even if it's just looking at the joy that we would be experiencing rather than the fear. Then can we bring about that reality into our pop-up world? A few years ago I had a very big dream where a friend and I were experiencing two different realities. On our left we had chaos and on our right we had harmony. And she stated that she was going to go back into chaos to get a daughter, to which I said, "Oh, well, you may not be able to get back." And then I experienced within this dream this booming voice of God saying, "Kim, never instill your fears onto another." So I've been learning how to do that since that dream. I'm going to do a part 2 on this pop-up world concept, and believe me when I say that part 2 is going to stretch the imagination. I've got no proof, it's just pure speculation. But if it has the smallest chance of allowing us to create a better world, then I'm in. Thanks for listening. Ta-ta for now.